everybody, and welcome to another installment of Mego Museum's Vintage Mego. I'm Brian, your host. This week, we're going to do something a little unusual, and that is crack open the pages of the 1977 Mego dealer catalog. Now, I'm going to do this in two parts, two distinct episodes, so I can give everything a proper look over. This is not a small catalog by any means. This is Mego at its prime. And this thing is 80 pages, and a lot of iconic toys were released that year. Mego was not only looking at the action figure aisle, but they were looking at the girls aisle and the games aisle as well. And they really were getting aggressive. This is truly a company at its zenith. You'll notice above that I've got some footage from the 1977 Dallas Toy Fair. This is the pre-Toy Fair where they test things out, and this is an incredible bit of history. What I'm going to do is give you a slideshow of the various pages of the first half. Then I'm going to come back and talk about some of the more interesting things in this catalog. I hope you enjoy it. So the first thing I want to touch upon is the big items are usually at the front of the catalog, the real winners. And for 1977, the return of Cher. This is the second year for the Cher line. And Mego had incredible success in 1976 with this, so they've expanded it with a growing hair Cher doll, more outfits, more play sets, including my favorite, the Sonny and Cher Roadster, which is largely believed to be the abandoned car from a Doc Savage line that Mego was doing. I know Mego did have the rights to Doc Savage, and they did drop it. And when I did ask former VP of R&D Neil Cublin, is this Doc Savage's Roadster? He said, I wouldn't doubt if it was. So that's all I got, but it does look incredibly like Doc Savage's car from the film. This would be the last year for the Cher line, mainly due to the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour being canceled in August of 1977. So, the air goes out of the balloon very quickly once the show is off the air. But this gave Mego a taste for the celebrity doll, and you can already see that they're trying to capitalize on more people. They've picked up Captain and Tennille because they're hoping their show will have the same success. You've got Diana Ross. And then, of course, the big get would be Farrah Fawcett, and that would be a huge hit for 77. And that, Farrah was popular due to Charlie's Angels and that poster and her hair. And by 78, they're focusing more on Farrah. Star Trek returned as well with 4 new aliens, a playset, some odd role play things such as the Trekulator, which I'll do an episode on, the intergalactic projector, a bunch of science kits that never got made. I did a video on canceled Mego Star Trek that you can enjoy. Star Trek would also not return in 1978. This was, again, no fault of Mego's. Paramount actually asked them to gas the line in lieu of the movie coming up, and Mego did it, and we all know how that worked out. One of my favorite toy lines of 77 is CB McHaul, as people who watch my channel may well know, and this was the debut year. I love looking at the prototype action figures in the catalog. McHaul would only last 2 years, again, due to the CB fad having a much shorter shelf life than Mego had anticipated. The world's greatest superheroes were clearly on top of the world in 1977. You had a rich, full assortment of characters, only missing characters like Tarzan, who had left the building. But we got 4 new guys in the form of the Teen Titans. This was the one and only year for the Titans. And a fantastic success for Mego. And this is, of course, based on the Linda Carter television series. In 1977, they proposed a whole bunch of extensions, including Wonder Wardrobe. These only saw release in Canada and are very rare and expensive. The other proposed item for the line that year was the Paradise Island playset. I've mentioned this before, but I'm always terribly surprised this didn't get made. It's such an obvious no-brainer, and the show was a hit, but I guess buyers just weren't. There is a couple of fun little loose leaf sheets in here that, got added in at the last minute. The first one being a board game based on the seminal TV miniseries of the 1970s, and that would be Roots. Mego did not end up producing this, but there is a Roots game out there, so the concept got carried by someone else. The second thing is an advertisement for the Jacqueline Smith doll. Mego is gunning hard for the celebrity likeness of the Charlie's Angels and going around Hasbro. This doll did get produced, and I believe there is actually a doll based on Kate Jackson out there as well, but it is not produced by Mego. I believe it's Mchall. And the third thing is something I find really clever, and this is a Lindsay Wagner doll. The Bionic Woman was hot. Kenner had the Bionic Woman license. But Mego went out and got not only Jacqueline Smith's likeness, but Lee Major's as well. Neither of those dolls came into production, but it was not a happy day for Kenner when they found that out, apparently. So that is part one of my look at the 1977 Mego trade catalog. When I next join you with Vintage Mego, I will come back with part two. Got some amazing stuff in there that needs addressing, like Starsky and Hutch and the Micronauts and the comic action heroes, but we'll leave that for another time. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'd love to know your thoughts and comments below. Also wanted to mention, if you haven't already heard, we do have a magazine out called Toy Ventures. We're on issue 2, which features a in-depth look at the Mego Doctor Who line from the UK. If you're a fan of this channel and vintage toys, you may want to check it out. The links are below. Thanks as always for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're new to this, please consider hitting like and subscribe. Let's talk Mego. You can hit me up either at the Mego Museum forums or in our Facebook group, MegoMania. Thanks as always. Take care.